Come, let me show you something.
Let's just do away with all this stuff and we will do a walk around. So if you didn't know, this is a Kawasaki X2. It is a 94. I like to call it the pink shredder. You know, I don't really jump it much. I've got it mostly set up to just shred, and we're just going to do a little walk around. So, as you can see, I've still got my factory bars. Everything's still factory about it. So I've got my cushion pad, which is a knee saver. You know, if I ever found a decent UMI for cheap enough, I'd probably buy it. But I haven't, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money on that. So basically, the X2 is like the stepchild for me. Basically, if anything comes off of that, try to make it work in this so it gets hand-me-down parts. So I've still got stock steering, still got my trim and everything, all that stuff. Still got, well, the seat's kind of aftermarket. When I got this seat, it was orange. It was orange, and these were black right here. So this is just vinyl paint, and it's actually done pretty good holding up. Except you can see right here where it's got rubbed, where the orange is coming back through. But other than that, I was really surprised how well that vinyl paint grabbed a hold. I mean, this is 3 years old. And of course I cut the back end. So there's where the bow eye used to be. So I split the bow eye, cut the entire back off, and then angle cut it so that you could free up some more thrust, because if you had the rest on there, this here would not be showing, none of this. And what happens is when they're at full turn, there'd be a wall right here. So you'd literally be losing this much thrust to turning, because there is, I don't know, about an inch of material going. So you get this, you know, this little bit of thrust can add up that you're missing out of right here. So still running the stock plate. It does have an aftermarket prop in it, but I have no clue what it is. Another guy that rides X2 said it was already reverse cut, blah, 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 blah. I was ready for an X2. I gave him 20 bucks for it. I don't know what it was. Stock pump. Turfed it, you know, just wanted to turf the rails. Wrapped it 3 years ago. This is just cheap eBay pink carbon fiber vinyl, because I set this thing up because my wife wanted, she said, well, if you bought, I had a stand up at the time. Wife's like, well, if you bought me a jet ski, I'd go to the lake with you. So I'm like, boom, found this X2, 250 bucks, no title, runs, went and picked it up, wrapped it in pink for her. She hated it because she couldn't sit on it and it wouldn't float with her. She had to keep going. She hated that. So I even did this. I even put tubbies on it just so it'd make it easier for her. So I put these huge tubbies on here, which they are, it is silicone on the back side of this, and there's some JB weld around the edges, and then there's a billion screws. Anyways, and this is aftermarket. There's just some little dongle because, you know, they don't I think I got these for 20 bucks too off of another X2 guy I ride with. But this here is like only 1.5 inches. We're gonna have to upgrade that. I'm trying to think what else I've done to the outside of it. Painted the bottom, top's wrapped. As you can see, you can still see the stickers underneath. On this one over here, I actually didn't even try to remove it. You can still see the wording through it. Oh, it doesn't have thumb throttle anymore. It's got finger throttle, which came off of that. So let's get under the hood. As you can see, I still am rocking the foam. I don't have a surf brace because I don't jump this thing. Ooh, she smells like grape. So let's see. Stock 650. Well, the motor is stock. Has like 1,000,000 hours. I really don't know how many hours it has. It could have 50, but we'll just say since it's a 94, it has 1,000,000. So whenever they come out with those factory pipes came back out and they needed like 50 people, I hopped on the boat. I think it was $2.99 or something. Got the head pipe, B pipe, which is, you know, it's kind of a boring, you know, most B pipes look, this just looks like a tube. It looks almost like the stock pipe. And then I've got the rad dudes because mine started leaking, so I bought the stainless rad dudes, which is way overpriced. I feel like it is 4 tubes coming out of a piece of stainless, and I can't remember, but I remember getting angry because of how much it cost, and it didn't even fix my problem. And then over here on the carb side, pulled off the keyhine and got the Mikuni SB40 pole. Is it a 40 or is it 44? I don't remember. And oh, this is another good thing. This battery was in my Superjet from 2013. This is 2020. So how I get the most life out of my batteries is I trickle charge them at least once a month. Doesn't matter summer, winter, once a month. Put them on the trickle charger. And how I put the 44 on here, you see I've still got the stock manifold. There is a adapter plate you can get right here off eBay, and it helps adapt it over to it. I can't remember how much it was. It's cheap. It was like $25 or something. And the only other thing that is not stock is the water box, which, you know, the water box is that huge can. So this was meant for a 750 sit down. It's called like Jetcraft. It's just tube with baffles in it. It was an L shape, but we cut it and re-welded it and made it into a U. So, you know, it came in one side, down the bottom, out the side, back here. 650s, you know, when they first came out, I want to say it was like 52 horsepower. And then later on, I think it went up to like 57 horsepower. They did a few things, changed up stuff over the years. Carburetor got bigger, changed up the prop. This here got bigger, went from a, I want to say when it first came out it was like 1 1/4 inch, and then it went up to a 1/2 inch. I don't know if like the 95s came with a 2 inch. I know they were bigger, but I can't remember how big they were, the exhaust port. But let's say she's got 50 horses because she's got 1,000,000 hours on it and all these parts. I don't know. She might do 40, 39, 40 the last time I checked, and she's been running worse and worse. I don't check the compression because if I check it, it's going to upset me because it's very low, but it starts and runs. Yay. So if you check the compression, it's just going to upset you, so don't check it. There's no sense in checking that unless it blows up. And it's a 650, so that means it needs to be upgraded. But since I have a Super Chicken now, I need a 650 somewhere else than a Super Chicken. So I've got this super sweet thing sitting over here, which is a 701 with 760 charging. It's not doing anything, but I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought the conversion plates So we're about to take this 50 horse up to 110. Gonna put the MSD on it, B pipe, dual Makuni 38s. I think those are 38s. Fresh rebuilds. This thing's gonna scream. Gonna put a different prop in it. Gonna put a real B pipe in it. This B pipe's going to another guy that's gonna ride with us this year, Corey. I think that's it, but I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing it down. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.